Hello everyone, this is Group 1 again, and today we'll share our results of the Chapter 7 tutorial questions. And there are 5 members of our group, and each of the members will present their results in the following presentations. So we're going to start with the Zhangjing Yiming with the question number 2.
The first question is about the preferred dividends. So Acura Labs Inc. has an outstanding issue of preferred stocks with a par value of $40 and 8 present annual dividends. So for question A, what is the annual dollar dividends? And if it's paid quarterly, how much will be paid each quarter? So the amount annual dividend is equal to par value per preferred share times the annual dividends. So the $40 times 8 present is equal to $3.2. And if it's paid quarterly, so we need to divide it 4. So it's equal to $0.8. And for question B, if the preferred stock is non-cumulative and the board of directors has passed the preferred dividends for the last 2 quarters, how much must be paid to preferred stockholders in the current quarter before dividends are paid to common stockholders? So if shares are no cumulative, so there is no dividends in arrears, so only current quarter dividends will be paid of $0.8. So the dividend to be distributed to non-cumulative uh, preferred shareholders this quarter is equal to 1 share times the amount of quarterly dividends per share times 1 quarter is equal to $0.8. So for question C, if the preferred stock is cumulative and the board of directors has passed the preferred dividends for the last 2 quarters, how much must be paid to preferred stockholders in the current quarter before dividends are paid to common stockholders? So if shares are cumulative, so all the unpaid dividends for the quarters will accumulate. So for last 2 quarters plus current quarters must be paid first to preference shareholders. So we use the amount of quarterly dividends per share times 3 quarters. So the dividend to be distributed to cumulate preferred shareholders this quarter is equal to $2.4. The next question is about the common stock value. So Kelsey Drums Inc. is a well-established supplier of fan percussion instruments to orchestra all over the United States. The company's Class A common stock has paid a dividends of $2.8 per share per year for the last 12 years. So management expect to continue to pay at that moment for the foreseeable future. Kim Arnold purchased 200 shares of Kelsey Class A common 10 years ago and attained when the required rate of return for the stock was 7.6%, and she wants to sell her shares today. So the current required rate of return for the stock is 9.25%. So how much capital gain or loss will Kim have on her shares? So the first step, we need to know the value of stock when purchased. So we need to calculate the price of share 10 years ago. So it's equal to dividend paid divided by required rate of return at that time. So it's equal to $2.8 divided by 0.076. So it's equal to $36.842. And as growth rate is 0, so the stock price will remain the same for 10 years. So the next step, we need to calculate the value of stock when sold. So value of stock when sold is equal to dividend paid divided by the current required rate of return. So it's equal to $2.8 divided by 0.0925. So it's equal to $13.27. So the last step, we can calculate the total capital loss. So it's equal to number of shares times the capital loss per share. So we can use the 200 shares to times the sale price of share minus the purchase price per share. So Kim will lose $1,314.4.
So my name is Xu Zhechen. I will continue presenting the question 9 and 12. For question 9, Sweet Candy will pay dividend of 72% per share next year. The CEO of the company declared that the company expects to maintain the constant growth rate of 7% per year every day from now on. Question A. What will be the price per share if the required return is 10%? Question B. What will be the price per share if the required return is 8%? Question C. Based on the answer of A and B, give disadvantage of the constant growth model. For the question A, we use the formula and let the P0 equals to current price of the common stock, and D1 is the expected dividend, R required return, and G the expected dividend growth rate. So the stock price is given by P0 equals to D1 divided by R minus G. So we plug in the given information in the stock price equation and solved result as $24. And we use the same formula for question B, and we know the result is $72. So for the question C, the constant growth model is really sensitive to the required return rate and the growth rate. Even a small error in the required return can lead a big difference in the estimation of the stock value. Now we move on to question 12. The ELK County Telephone paid dividends shown in the following table. The firm's dividend per share in 2020 is expected to be 3.02. Question A. If you can earn 30% on similar risk investment, what is the most you would pay per share in 2019, just after $2.87 dividend? Question B. If you can earn 10% on similar risk investment, what is the most you would pay per share? C. Compare and contrast A and B. Discuss the impact of changing risk and share value. So for the question A, we use the same formula. Let P0 equals to the current stock price and D1 the next expected dividend, R the required return, and G the expected dividend growth rate. So the stock price is P0 equals to D1 divided by the difference of R and G. And we will know the historical growth rate from 2014 and 2019 is in average 5%. And we put all the values in the formula, and we'll know the share price is $37.61. And we use the same formula in the question B, and we'll know the stock price is $60.12. So for the question C, we will know the required rate of return corresponds with the perceived risk of the investment. The higher return required means riskier than the share is. If the required return rises, the stock price would fall. As a result, as risk increases, share price would decrease. That will be all from my part. Thank you.
Hi guys, I will praise the problem 713. Common stock value variable growth. Monostos is considering a cash purchase of the stock Crocs Moldings. During the year just completed, Crocs earned Europe 4.5 per share and paid cash dividends of Europe 2.3 per share. D0 is equal to 2.3. Crocs earnings and dividends are expected to grow at 20% per year for the next 2 years, after which they are expected to grow at 5% per year forever. What is the maximum price per share that Monos should pay for Crocs if it has a required return of 12% on investments with risk characteristics similar to those of Crocs? So for this question, we can know that P0 is equal to present value of dividends during initial growth period plus present value of stock price at the end of initial growth period. The dividend for the next 2 years will be D1 is equal to 2.3 multiplies the 1 plus 20% is equal to 2.76. D2 is equal to 2.76 multiplies 1 plus 20% is equal to 3.312. And for the third year, it will be D3 is equal to 3.312 multiplies 1 plus 5% is equal to 3.48. So now for PV of D1 is equal to 2.76 divided by 1 plus 0.12 is equal to 2.46. PV of D2 is equal to 3.312 divided by 1.12 square, so it's equal to 2.64. And PV or price of the stock at the end of year 2 will be P3 is equal to 3.48 divided by 0.12 reduce 0.05 is equal to 49.71. This is at the end of year 3 from now, so we need to discount it for 2 years for its PV as of now. PV is equal to 49.71 divided by 1 plus 0.12 square, so it's equal to 39.63. So the value of the stock now should be a sum of the PV of the first 2 years dividend and the PV of the growing dividend from year 3 onwards. P0 is equal to 2.46 plus 2.64 plus 39.63. So it's equal to 44.72.
This question is about the common stock value, variable growth. Home Place Hotels is entering into a 3-year remodeling and expansion project. The construction will have a limiting effect on earnings during that time, but when completed, it should allow the company to enjoy much improved growth in earnings and dividends. Last year, the company paid a dividend of $3.4. It expects zero growth in the next year. In years 2 and 3, 5% growth is expected, and in year 4, 15% growth. In year 5 and thereafter, growth should be a constant 10% per year. What is the maximum price per share that an investor who requires a return of 14% should pay for Home Place Hotels common stock? So the first step is maximum price per share equals present value of dividends during initial growth period plus present value of stock price at end of initial growth period. And the second part is about to calculate present value of dividends. And first to calculate the dividends for the different 4 years. So D1 equals $3.40 multiply 1 equals $3.4. D2 equals 3.4 multiply 1.05 equals $3.57. And we can easily get the D3 equals $3.75 and D4 for $4.31. Then we calculate the present value by using the return of the 14%. By using the method about present value of the dividends equals dn multiply 1 and divide by the n's power of 1.14. So we can get P1 equals 2.98, P2 equals 2.75, P3 2.53, and P4 for about 2.55. So the total present value of the 4 years we can add P1, P2, P3, and P4 together and get 10.81. The third step to calculate the stock price for year 4, and we needed to get next expected dividend. We can get in year 5 and thereafter growth should be a constant 10% per year from the question. So D5 equals 4.31 multiply 1.1 equals $4.74. And the stock price of year 4 we can get is D5 divided return minus growth and equals 4.74 divided 0.14 minus 0.1 and equals 118.5. So use the same method from the step 2, and the present value of stock price and end of year 4 is 118.5. divide the fourth power of 1 plus 1.14, and the answer is 70.16. So the fourth step is back to step 1, and maximum price per share equals present value of dividends during initial growth period plus present value of stock price at end of initial growth period equals 70.16 plus 10.81 and equals 80.97.
My name is Zhang Shusi, and I will continue the problem 717. Naval Industry is considering going public but is unsure of a fair offering price for the company. Before hiring an investment banker to assist in making the public offering, managers at Naval has decided to make their own estimates of the firm's common stock value. The firm's CFO has gathered data for performing the valuation using the free cash flow valuation model. That the firm's weighted average cost of capital is 11% and it has a 1,500,000 of debits and 400,000 of preferred stock in terms of market value. The estimated free cash flow over the next 5 years, 2020 through 2024, are given. Beyond 2024 to infinity, the firm expects its free cash flow to grow by 3% annually. Question A. That estimate the value of neighbor industry entire company by using the free cash flow valuation model. This question we will use 3 steps to calculate this difficult question. The step 1, we will calculate the present value of free cash flow occurring from the end of the 2025 to infinity and measured at the beginning of 2025. And we will use one formula of this question and I have put in the right side of the slides. The first one, we will calculate the free cash flow 2025 that we can get the result that is 401,700. And then we use this result, put it into the formula to get the free cash flow 2025 to the infinity. Then we can get the result that is 5,250,250. And then we add step 1's result to given to the free cash flow 2024. We can get the total free cash flow 2024. That is 5,411,250. And the 3 steps, that is a very important step. We will find the sum of the present value of the free cash flow for 2020 through 2024 to determine the value of the entire company. This step I have detailed on the following chart. As we can see in the chart, that the chart upside one is the yellow one, that is the question has given, that is the free cash flow of each year from 2020 to the 2024. And the only thing we need to calculate, the 2 things we need to calculate, that is discounting factors and the present value of free cash flow of this year. So the first is discounting factors. So how to calculate? We will use the formula that is 1 divided by the nth power of 1.11. That is 2020 we can get 0.90, and 2021 that is 0.81, 2022 that is 0.73, 2023 that is 0.66, and 2024 that is 0.59. And with this, we use the free cash flow the question has given, and we calculate the discounting factors. These 2 factors times together, that is free cash flow times the discounting factors, we can get the present value of free cash flow of each year. So each year I have signed in the chart. So sum of the present value of the free cash flow, we can get the value of the entire company. That is 4,051,624.46. So the value of the company is this result. And to be announced that this value of the entire company is based on the round value that appear in the table. the pre-sales value found without rounding is 4,624.46. That is question A, and I will discuss the question B and C in the next slides. Thank you. In this slide, I will answer the question B and question C. I think they both is very easy because we have calculate the most difficult one, the question A. So the question B, using the finding part A along with the data provided above to find the Nobel industry common stock value. This question, I think, is using one formula that the total value of the common stock is equal to the value of the company minus total debit and minus total value of the preferred stock. That's the data the question has given, and we have get from the question A that we can get the result that the Nobel industry common stock value is 2,151,624.46. So the last part is the firm plans to issue 200,000 shares of the common stock. What is its estimated value per share? This question and also use the one formula to calculate this. The value per share of the common stock is equal to the total value of the common stock divided by the common shares that we can get from the question B, and also the question has given that the result is $10.76. Hence, the estimated value of the per share is $10.76. That's all. Thank you.